Mobile Geeks coverage of CES 2015 is brought to you by ASUS.
Hey, I'm Roland with Mobile Geeks right here at CES 2015, and we've made it to the Qualcomm booth for another round. And this right here is the Vivo X5 Max. So the X5 Max is basically all about thinness, because this thing is only 4.75 millimeters in thickness. That's the overall thickness in the most part of the device, because the camera always, as always, is a little bump on the back right here, so that sticks out a little bit. But other than that, it's a pretty good looking 5.5-inch smartphone that runs the Snapdragon 615, which is their mid-range SoC. That's the octa-core SoC running at up to 1.7 gigahertz. It's combined with 2 gigs of RAM, 16 gigs of flash storage. I don't think there is an SD card slot on this device. We'll see when we go around in a second, but looks like it down here actually. Other than that, we have a 5.5-inch IPS panel that seems to be very nice and bright actually. And they also have a full HD resolution on this device. The viewing angles are actually superb on this thing. As you can see, you don't have any problems with colors going off, or even the angles are perfect basically. So you really have almost 180-degree vision on this device. Let's take a quick tour around then. So we have a 5-megapixel camera on the front up here. That's your bunch of sensors, the earpiece right there, and the typical Android physical buttons down here, so no on-screen buttons, because Chinese people or Chinese companies actually are sticking to keeping them on the device itself. On the side you have this aluminum frame that makes it possible to build this thing in just 4.75 millimeters thickness. On the bottom right here you can see, well, if my camera can't keep up, down here you can see this slot which should house a dual SIM configuration on here. There's no LTE in countries outside China, but in China it is TD-LTE, I think. Plus you have the slider right here, which may also contain a micro SD card slot, but they couldn't really tell me about that on the spec sheet, and I certainly cannot remember right now. Down here we have a very loud speakers, because it's a Vivo smartphone and they're always about the audio. So they not only have Yamaha audio chips in here and another 2 dedicated audio chips and their own amp, but this also is able to go up to, I think, 110 dB when blasting out the audio. Let's go over to the left side, and there is pretty much nothing there. Up on top on the back you have a single LED flash and a 13-megapixel camera. As opposed to the Oppo R5, which is also on this booth, but we've shown you that before, Vivo has actually managed to cram in a 3.5mm headset jack, so you're not going to use your USB adapter or whatever to pipe the audio out, but you can just insert a standard 3.5mm headset jack. The way they did this is they have actually engineered the whole case around this headset jack there to make it actually fit in there. So basically this cover back here, the plastic cover, is part of the jack, and also it basically consists out of the casing around it. So they're not really just taking the case and putting the slot in there, they are building the slot out of the case. So this has just been a quick look at the Vivo X5, but before we are done with this, let's just take a quick look at this interface. It's fully Chinese right now, so I can't really tell you anything much about it, but I do know that there are some special features integrated, because they are running their own modified version of Android 4.2 KitKat on this device. I don't know about upgrades to Lollipop, but they will certainly at some point in time arrive for this. So this has just been a quick look at the Vivo X5 Max at CES 2015, and if you like what we're doing on our channel, give us a thumbs up, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Google+, and we'll see you later. Bye!
Mobile Geeks coverage of CES 2015 is brought to you by ASUS.